I'm back. Here's number 8. So I notice with this a lot of you struggle and don't know what to do. So the first thing you should probably do is think of this as a fraction. So you just put it over 1. So then if you take a look at it and you take the parentheses off of it, because parentheses can be distracting, and you just look at it like this, 2r to the negative 5th, s to the 6th, over r to the 3rd, s to the 4th, times 3 r to the 9th, s to the negative 4th, over 1. This is just plain old multiplying fractions. To multiply fractions, all you have to do is multiply across the numerator, multiply across the denominator. Now, multiplying across the numerator means the coefficients, 2 and 3, they get multiplied like normal. So 2 times 3 makes 6. For multiplying the r's, it means add the exponents. So you have r to the negative 5 plus 9. To multiply the s's, it means add the exponents. So you have s to the 6 plus negative 4. There's your numerator. Over. In the denominator, r to the 3rd, s to the 4th times 1 is just r to the 3rd, s to the 4th, because 1 doesn't change anything. Okay, now I'm going to simplify my 2 little additions. So I have 6 r to the 4th, s to the 2nd, over r to the 3rd, s to the 4th. Now remember, when you multiply variables, you're adding the exponents. When I'm dividing variables, I'm subtracting the exponents. So I'm going to do 4 minus 3, which is r to the 1st, and it's going to be in the numerator because that's where there were more r's to start with. So I'm going to have 6r. For the s's, I'm going to do 4 minus 2, so I'm going to have s to the 2nd. But since there were more s's in the denominator, that's where the s to the 2nd has to go. So 6r over s to the 2nd, and that is the answer to number 8. And now we'll do 10. Number 10 says 8v to the 5th, w to the negative 6th, over 2v to the negative 3rd, w to the 2nd, times v to the 6th, w. Okay, so again what they did is they threw parentheses down there to make you a little confused, but don't let it stress you out. You could really just think of this as times. Now, your coefficient has nothing to multiply by. I'm going to leave the numerator the same for now. In the denominator, the 2 has nobody to multiply with, so it's going to stay at 2. To multiply the v's, you add their exponents. So it becomes v to the negative 3 plus 6. To multiply the w's, you add their exponents, but notice how there's not an exponent there. So I have to think of it as a 1. So I'm going to have w to the 2 plus 1. So that gives me 8 v to the 5th, w to the negative 6th, over 2 v to the 3rd, w to the 3rd. Now there's a couple different things that have to happen here. One, this reduces the old-fashioned way. 8 over 2, they're both divisible by 2, so it becomes 4 over 1. Now I'm going to relocate any exponents that are negative. So that means this guy right here, w to the negative 6th, needs to move down to the denominator. Nobody else is moving because nobody else has a negative exponent. So in your numerator you have 4v to the 5th. In the denominator you have v to the 3rd, w to the 3rd, and the w to the 6th that is now moving down there. Now what you want to do is figure out, are you going to add or subtract exponents? Because your v's are dividing, that's when you subtract the exponents. So you have 4 over 1, and then the v is on top because that's where the bigger one is. 5 minus 3 is 2. The w's are multiplying, so you're going to add the exponents, and that's going to give you w to the 9th. So your final answer is 4v to the 2nd over 1w to the 9th. The 1 is optional, so you don't need it if you don't want it. Small break.